Bagan hun jogi Dr. ke jylla kimla ban claim de Pynrem jur ya ke Jingkynthoh Wemeli ke Mausunram constituency ba HM Shangpliang habede ba ke jinglet pon jurip ke jong ya ke Dangar PHC hading ke jingklat no jong ke longkemi ke ba armet tanah kadau pamla chu pan sumareka hagni ke jaka habakren bat kalat pathai Khubor naglyang u Dr. S Warjri cardiologist ka supercare hospital hagabanikong open pal ba ke jingklat no jong ke longkemi ke long ke bampoi prakhat bat kabla penmi pat yaki babun kijing keli henry banla pat banlap yaki daw tunrai jong kijing jabaro kai ka badon ka ame kalong ban thung chwa da kijing toket dagi bor ki bahalor khnang banla banlap yaki jing shisha baro penban panchuther bet naphang len nadu ki Nongtrei ki nos ni wat ki doctor kalong ka bamla ban priang kanotam lele lada wemeli ukran bat the tenge ya ki Nongtrei hakmat jong kilat pathai Khubor ka badon kam shisha ban Pynrem jur yakum kini ki jingle Aba phai biang chagani ki jingja naglyang u Dr. S Warjri upan pau ba kat kum ka jingla patchem ka jongu ki PHC ki badon ha ka jylla dalele kim pala ban a ye ki jing sumar ka papaka hakum kini ki jat kis ka blaja ya kani ka longkami hapo ka te PHC u Dr. S Warjri upan pau ba ki jaka ai jing sumar ka jylla ha ki nongkendong kim pala ban a ya ki jing sumar kat hadu bakin habat kin puj ye ki longkami ki basitom kumni bat ka ai pat kajing ya ka bami ka long bagi jaka ai jing sumar hagin nong kindong kimpat biang lot borok jing ton kam compare wat la don makna ki nurse ni ki doctor ki balla banle ya ka kam henry ya ka ai ka bakila banle na ka lang ki doctor baki nurse ya kum kini ki jak jing stom ka long bet ban paket ne ban pha sumar haki hospital sarkar ki badon ha ka nong ba Penban banla pat ban pelaj ya kemensin beriu ke bakordor u Dr. S Warjri usngau ban ajeng mut chaka sarkar jylla pakan pha ya kala da kala ban penbyang ya ki x-ray ki ultrasound ki EGC pat kwe ki kor sa ki PHC lem kumta kum kini ki jingja kindang yai beteng bekinja nakwe ka por sa kwe pat kumta kum uwe ni ki doctor ba ai ki jing chakri ki jong u ya ki pat ba ka jylla usngau ban ong ba ka jing kren ne le wemele ka Mausunram ya ki Nongtrei jong ka Dangar PHC ka long ka bam don nongrem pat ka bam chong hok satyai u bo unle ne kren klem de ti binya ya ka daw tenrai.
What happened in that PHC is very unfortunate. The death of that woman, young woman, and those lives are always precious. And it was an avoidable death. So whether there was negligence or not, that has to be investigated, properly investigated by the proper authorities and people involved, and then accordingly let that go take its own course. But what we see in that is a very sad situation where the MLA had to question those staffs, the nurses and the doctors, and it gives you a picture that they were already guilty. You can't. It's very sad that they do that. That is not nice. It's really not nice, because we don't know what exactly happened. We don't know how the patient died, and whether it was somebody's fault or it was we can't start blaming people right now. So let the facts come and then we'll start talking about who is responsible with. But what we do know is that if the patient had a complicated pregnancy and the childbirth was difficult, then there is no PHC in Meghalaya that can handle that kind of a pregnancy. You can call 1,000 doctors at that PHC. None of them will be able to do anything with that case, because the fact is there is nothing there to help that woman in terms of infrastructure. They don't have an OT. There is nothing. You can't do anything. The best you can do with that patient is send her to a better hospital, probably to Shillong. The best is to send Shillong, but then that is far off. I don't think she would have survived to reach Shillong. So the sad story is the health system in Meghalaya is very sad, and many more. We keep seeing a lot of these cases. It's actually good that these things are coming up. In one way, it is good that the MLA has raised up this issue, because it is a very important issue. Although we are not happy with the way he did it, but it is definitely an issue that has to be tackled. It's not just this time is happening, it's happening every time. There are people who have to walk 2-3 hours just to go to a PHC. They die just because they have a diarrhea and they can't reach the PHC, and they, by the time they reach there, they're too dehydrated and it's very difficult to save them. So the government has to improve the health system. If the government comes up with a definite plan to improve these PHCs, then we'll see an improvement in these mortalities, especially for children and women and all. We see children being taken to hospital, starting with diarrhea in their villages. By the time they reach the PHC, they are so badly dehydrated, they die. So who do you blame? You can't blame everyone like that. You can't just point a finger at the doctor. No? The doctors and nurses are working with whatever they have there. In that place, what they have, they're working, whatever they have. But what they have is so less. I have people in Mairang and in the interiors who have a PHC, they don't have a chair and a table. How do you expect them to work? You can't even give them a chair and a table, and you're telling them to treat something which you require so much. So I think the government has to wake up, and it's good that the death of this woman has brought up these issues, and I think it should be taken up, and let's see what the government has to do.